Hello, dear soul, and welcome to the Lightbearer's Library. In today's journal entry, I wanted to talk about how we are all wrong. Why I wanted to talk about this is because I was reading Carl Jung's Psychological Types, and in it he talks about that we have 8 cognitive functions. We have four ways that we can perceive the world, like bring in information, and we have 4 ways of judging the world, judging those perceptions and making decisions about what we should do about that incoming information. And each one of us kind of puts more emphasis on one of these ways of looking at the world, or perhaps we're more of a judging type and we emphasize more making decisions about the world. And he says in there at the end of kind of going over these types and the overview is that we are all going to be 7/8 wrong, right? Because each one of us has a different lens, a different angle of perceiving and looking at the world. And if you go into Myers-Briggs, which took these Carl Jung's cognitive functions and put them in, an order to make 16 types, then you could say we're 15/16 wrong. If you had 16 people that were each of the different types, you'd be 94% wrong in, your philosophy of life or how you create things or whatever. It's like, and yes, we're all unique. You could add more personality types, fewer personality types. That's not the point. The point is that it's a useful way of thinking about the world to say, the way that I look at the world and make decisions about the world is going to be wrong for most other people around me in my life. Like, if we might have another person in our life that's the same personality type as us, and it still might not be the right way, for them to do it. But what it has helped me to do is to understand that 2 things, sort of from my perspective, thinking that I've solved something in my own life, and then I think that that's the way to help others, like that they should, do it like me because it works for me. I was like, but it's there's more likely a chance that it won't work for them, and the opposite is true. It's kind of freed me and given me more confidence to listen to, quote unquote experts in a field, to read a book, to listen to a friend or family member tell me about what's working for them, and it can help me to go to kind of say thank you for your input. That's not going to work for me, and to just have no like, oh, I don't know, is that right for me? Like, it's given me confidence to kind of say, yeah, that's not right for me. Even in my marriage, we've learned that we're 2 different types. I'm an INFP and my husband's an INFJ, and it's like we're very different, and it's given us a way of communicating where we'll be talking about philosophy or religion or whatever it is, politics, or and I'll say, well, this is what I think we should do about it, and he's like, yeah, I can see how that would, like, as an INFP, that's how you'd see it, and like totally that's right for you. He's like, but how I see it and what's right for me as an INFJ is different, So it's really helped us to kind of give each other the space to see it our way and to make decisions for ourselves in the way that we need to, as opposed to trying to like convince each other to do it our way and why our way is the best way we should each be doing it. So it's been really freeing in that sense, and really a confidence boost for me, because, he can be have lots of, he's got higher thinking than I do, and it can kind of be like, oh yeah, well that sounds good. I should do it that way, but I'm like, but something feels off about it to me, because I'm like a high feeler, and in a different way. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but it's just like, it's given me the freedom to just say, oh, well, that's not right for me. Thank you. Or like reading books like by philosophers or psychologists, or, just even simply introverts versus extroverts. It's like, extroverts will be like, you need to get out and go volunteer and go, get out there. And it's like, as an introvert, it's kind of like, well, you're maybe right. Like maybe I should get out and go for a walk or whatever, but an extrovert's solution might not be the way that an introvert should solve things, or anyway. But yeah, I guess that's why I think we should know thyself. It's like, whether it's the 16 personalities, like the MBTI system, that you go looking for and kind of see what it is that you are and how to build your life based on things that work for you, as opposed to someone else it works for them, right? They found the key to happiness and wholeness in their own life, and I think we can sometimes be swayed to be like, wow, they're so happy and healthy, and that's amazing, and I should go be like, an ultra marathoner and eat that way and like do that thing. And it's like, yeah, but they might be a very different type, and it might, you might be miserable doing exactly what they do. So, yeah. So again, take the same thing with my videos. It's like, and these journal entries, when you listen to them, this is all about exploration and getting you and me to explore and to know ourselves better and understand what it is that we think and feel for ourselves. And nothing here on my channel is about how you should do it and how you should think. It's just kind of offering up questions and thoughts and, inspirations, and then, having you tell me your perspective and what's worked for you. And, I think exchanging ideas is a wonderful thing, and helps us to gain new insights and new perspectives about who we are and how we like to look at the world and make decisions. Anyway, those are my thoughts for today. So I hope you can find some freedom in that, because I think so often we're pushed by, like teachers, parents, experts, the government, whoever it is that says, no, this is the way, this is the right way to do it or think or whatever, and this is the wrong way. I was like, I'm sorry, but I don't, no thank you. It's given me freedom to say, let me think about if that works for me. And, and to kind of reject philosophies, reject experts, reject authors, reject whatever, to say, no, that doesn't work for me. And to not have any like guilt or like, shame about that, or it just allows me to be confident and say, that doesn't work for me. Thank you. Anyway, if this has been at all helpful to you, I would love for you to subscribe to the Lightbearer's Library, where I talk about all things to do with humanness, to being human. And yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know if this was helpful to you. And we will talk soon. Signing off for now. XOXO, Kate.